tribe lomi Tengero, Nemblomi Daniel Otas, mi blo bulla. Story blo mi long one yet, paying 7 small number will shem, lo tete way lay askem Christian lomi, by mi butu number will shem, start blame me anamo, imi all customana, imi statem try Kava. Kava emi important blo mi vla from Kava ya emi history blo mi come out lo custom village blo mi, straight lo place blo mi long bulla. First time, maybe all only drink Kava, only drink lot time long, only drink from one something. Today, you may come take Kava no ya, you will same drink blow white man, or you stop drinking every day. The first time, all only drink Kava, only drink from one something way, only fat lamb. So, by you win one, you win something ya, or you drink from. Nangol from say Nangol emi one activity where me come out straight lom place lom vela bagen lo bulla. Poe mi vela ina mi vela yonem all customer. Mena megem say mi custom lo mi vela na mata white man ino camp mi vela megem all mi vela chamle. Tete you all white man only drink Kava plante. Lo look blomi. Lo mi vla one. Lo look blomi vla. Mi vla look say straight from before. Ini sa okwa lo tula town lo santo o tem villa ika too much fight. Penoya where you mi drink Kava. Kava mi dem iputum peace. Lo metel lo yumi historian o tem yumi. Meeting say all white man only drink. By one day by putum peace o tem. Olgata lo country lo lino mustapai.
Kava is a drink that has a psychotic kind of effect. It relaxes you. There's many other effects that people like and they drink it for those effects. One shell of Kava, you instantly feel the stress leaving your body. You start to sort of float above things a bit. You have a bit more perspective. You're on a different plane of kind of existence. My name is Ralph Friggin-Vanu. I'm the Minister of Climate Change Adaptation, Energy, Environment, Meteorology and Geohazards, and National Disaster Management. I'm also a Member of Parliament for Port Vila, where we are now. Vanuatu is an archipelago of about 80 islands, spread out over a bit over 1,000 kilometers, north to south. Very wide variety of cultures and languages. It's one of the most diverse cultural areas in the world in terms of the number of languages and cultures that exist for the population. So the Kava traditions are still strong in the islands where Kava was traditional. Kava was first discovered in Vanuatu, in North Vanuatu, in the islands of Pentecost and Maiwo. You have to talk to the botanists, right? The scientists, and they'll tell you. They've done the studies and they've traced it back to, that's it, it's Maiwo Pentecost. That's where it came from.
My name is Vincent Lebeau. I am a plant breeder and a geneticist, and I am a senior scientist attached to VARTC, the Vanuatu Agricultural Research and Technical Center, under the umbrella of the Ministry of Agriculture in Vanuatu. I first came to Vanuatu as a volunteer to teach agriculture, and obviously at that time Kava was very important culturally, but unknown to science. So obviously I got interested into it and I did my research into it, and 42 years after, I'm still trying to understand what Kava is. It's a fascinating plant species. Kava is a shrub. It is not cultivated for its fruit, it's cultivated for its roots, or the stumps and the basal stems. Everything which has not been exposed to light. Kava is a traditional beverage prepared by cold water extraction of the underground organs of the plant species Piper metisticum. the beverage when it is ingested, and if there is a sufficient dosage, you will get this relaxing effect. It will not impact your perception of the reality. It will not work on the central nervous system. It will work on the spinal cord. So it's a very powerful muscular relaxant, and this is basically what people are looking at, a social lubricant, a social beverage you share a good hour or 2 or 3 with your friends, and because your perception of reality is not impacted, you can discuss all sorts of things.
I drink kava daily after work. Every time we knock off the work, I have some of my favorite kava bars are just in the corner there. So I just go there, sit down with a few friends, have a 2 or 3 shells and win the day. And you just feel relaxed. And that's what we are looking for. It's not about drunkenness, it's about relax and winding. My name is Michael Luze. I'm a kava exporter from Vanuatu. And I've been in the kava business for more than 22 years. And I source kava from farmers I know and I trust, select it, pack it, and export it to our overseas market. I work mainly with farmers in Pentecost Island, which some I have known for more than 20 years. Kava is 99% or more grown exclusively by small farmers in our island. And this is great. This is the way it should be. It is grown organically. It is grown without any entrants, no herbicide, no fertilizer. So all the weeding is done strictly by hand. We are probably the only country growing kava 100% organically. We have been blessed because of the quality of our soil and the weather. The soil is great for kava. We have rich volcanic soil. And also our farmers have been growing kava for generation and generation, so they know exactly what to do to ensure that the kava is going well. Kava, it's also a very, very important traditional crop. It all started in Pentecost Island, and it has been spread all around Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, up to Hawaii. So imagine the first navigators traveling with kava to Hawaii. That means they've been carefully wrapping those cuttings in leaves, watering them over weeks and weeks of sea journey. That really shows us how kava was important, and still is.
For all of our history of interaction with the outside world, kava was our biggest export. Used to go out to the other islands. I mean, there was a great tradition of the Tongan king used to send his sailors to Vanuatu every so often to get kava from the island of Tonga.
Polynesian took kava on board, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Tahiti, the Marquesas, all the way up to Hawaii. When Captain Cook arrived in Hawaii, the Hawaiians are drinking kava. When he lands in Tahiti, the Tahitians are drinking kava. Before the European arrival, kava was essential to the social and daily life, because if you are a Polynesian or a Melanesian chief, you want to solve a problem in the community, you organize a kava ceremony and you discuss the problems, and it's a social lubricant. Nobody gets violent, you can solve issues. So politically, it was at the base of the Polynesian kingdoms. And in Melanesia, it was very important for the chiefs to discuss problems in the communities and solve them.
In a Nakamal setup, a traditional setup in a village, kava is consumed in the afternoon, like when the sun is setting. The kava will be prepared more or less shell by shell. They will invite first a chief and the invited guest to drink. So they follow a very protocolar sort of order for people to drink their kava. The chief and invited guests or visitors will be drinking first.
You'll have your working day, and then you'll have the after-work session at the Kava bar. The other thing about the Kava bar too is that it's a very non-hierarchical setting. So anyone can go there and you're all the same. It doesn't matter, like I'm a member of parliament, I'm a minister, but I'll go and sit with a labourer and we'll sit in the same place, and there's no social barriers in a Kava bar. So you can speak freely and socialise freely, and there's no expectations of anything more than just relaxing. And you're able to discuss things, issues, things you've been working on in the day, in a way that's more conducive to, let's say, sorting things out.
I first came across Kava when I was flying somewhere else and got routed through Vanuatu unexpectedly, and that sort of change of fate that left me there led me to discover a Kava bar in Port Vila. And so I first had Kava at one of these Kava bars and felt instantly relaxed. I felt like I could talk to anyone about anything. Years later, when I had found out the Australian government was to make Kava legal in Australia, and I decided to start the company Australian Kava Co. My name is Tom Wilson. I'm the owner of Australian Kava Co. The benefits of Kava in Australia are massive. The people we hear from every week talking about their experience with Kava shows how beneficial it is. Ultimately, people are using it to stop drinking alcohol, to reduce their reliance on substance abuse as well. We're getting stories of people who haven't been able to sleep before, who are starting to be able to sleep a lot better after drinking Kava in a more sustainable way. And we're finding people are using it for really, really beneficial kinds of things.
Kava lactones, when they are ingested as they are, as a traditional beverage, we can say that they are harmless. They do not produce any side effects. They are not addictive. In other words, you can drink Kava every day.
He said that Kava is being consumed by generations, and he himself has been drinking Kava since his teenage years until today. Never missed a single day without drinking Kava. Never missed a single day. And if Kava was bad, he would be dead long time ago.
Kava is a really effective way for the Vanuatu community to share their culture with the rest of the world. When you talk to the people in Vanuatu, they will just tell you that they wish that more Australians and more people internationally would drink more Kava and relax and just ultimately get along really well, which Kava is the secret to over here. We'd love to see Kava and the culture that comes with Kava more ingrained with the Australian population, known worldwide as a very relaxed people. And so Kava really blends in perfectly with the culture that we already have. So if we can share that culture with Australia and ingrain it within the Australian culture, it will have a massive effect, a massive positive effect on everyone.
Demand is growing outside Vanuatu. It's now become a major export. The government has done a lot of work to try and ensure we maintain the quality. There's been research done to eliminate lesser varieties and concentrate on a few varieties that they call noble varieties, that are the ones we are focusing on. And now our challenge is to really maintain Vanuatu Kava as the premium Kava in the world.
My name is Ruth Amos. I am the Chief Executive Officer of the Vanuatu Bureau of Standards. For Vanuatu, it is very important for us to maintain the quality of Kava coming out of Vanuatu, mainly because we have too many varieties. And so we decided to introduce testing to be able to differentiate between the 2-day and the noble Kava. Before the exporter is able to export, the biosecurity requirement is that a sample must be sent to the lab first. The lab tests the sample, and then from then on, if the quality is according to what the Kava Act states, and once that happens, if it's a positive sign, then the information goes back to biosecurity, and biosecurity gives the permit to the exporter.
We are the home of kava, and we're very proud of that. And we want Vanuatu kava to be considered the best kava in the world for eternity.
We are in cyclone-prone areas. We had the Category 5 cyclone in 2015. We had a Category 5 cyclone in 2019 again over the main kava producing area. So kava is more or less the way that our farmers and our rural population can stay resilient. Because of kava, either for the local market or for the export market, they still can get a bit of cash after some cyclone. Kava is really a Vanuatu success story, because we have gone from, at independence in 1980, from 0 kava bar and 0 kava export to kava becoming our biggest export by far. Kava is more than 65% of our Vanuatu export. Most of the farmers are relying on kava for their daily needs, more or less, for hospital, for the school fees, solar, for anything they want. For the first time, the farmers have a commodity empowering them. You know, we are a poor country. We don't have many resources. Kava is our chance. We don't need assistance. We don't want assistance. We don't want to be assisted. We need trade. We need more trade. We are blessed to have kava, so we want to extend the kava trade. This is our chance.
Sempre alcohol, imi sabe se oli medem alcohol oli putum tumas alcohol in se pe kavabli imi putum watanamo imi trin imi mokat one something in set lo ispolem body blue. Miluk se mikut. Tamol white man oli kamok part lo era oli pem kava oli helve mi la plante o sampla mani no katmani sami poa beta oli kimani mi bela ol chip mi le yarem kut long he oli helve mi la tumas. Story bele mi longwan yet mi sabe talem small nama welsem lo tetewe lei askem kustin lo mi pai mi butu nama welsem be start bele me mi namo imi ol customana imi statem try kava.